Here's the artwork. Okay, let me look at measurements and everything first. Let me move this over to the side. Let me expand this page. Control 0, Control 0. Okay. Okay, there's this one and then this one. It looks pretty good. Well, you didn't use a black background. That's still okay. I will still draw some of the whiskers over here, like draw in black, draw the black, make it a little bit darker. What did you use to paint this?
Just the pencil.
Draw this,
the
Polly.
pen-
Was this
the pen-
just a regular pencil?
Yes,
Okay,
all pencil.
I'm gonna go inside and take a closer look at all the details. Make sure everything's done nicely. Okay, good drawing of the nose. Okay, good. Let me see the eyes. Yeah, which pencil were you using? Just a regular number 2 pencil? Did you
No, I
try
use
using a darker
5B, 6B, and 8B.
5B? Okay.
8B.
Okay, so you use some of the darker pencils. I think maybe
Yeah,
just flash. I'm gonna darken it a little bit, just make sure it wasn't the flash.
Originally,
I'm gonna go here and then just like this. Was it closer to like that? Like that?
yes, yes,
Like that?
right. Darker.
Okay, then let's take a look at it. Okay. Oh, even darker? Okay. Go. There's a glare from the light or a flash like this. Maybe like that. Okay. Okay, let me take a look. I think it looks good. All the furs, there's no crisscrossing of the fur. Everything's going at the right direction. The eyes looks good. I would maybe make the eyes a little bit whiter. I know sometimes when you're drawing, do you put a piece of paper underneath your
No,
hand so you don't smudge?
no, I don't have paper in the.
Yeah. Oh, so next time, like when you're drawing and you're pencil drawing, I'll put a piece of paper underneath my hand so my palm of my hand don't smudge when I'm doing artwork. That way I can keep all my whites white. And I know sometimes it's like kind of gets in the way, the paper, just move it around. Did you use white pencil? Did you
No.
have white pencil? Okay, so you're just drawing
I
all
use
the black
eraser.
areas.
After that, I
Huh?
use the eraser.
Was
Eraser.
it a pencil eraser?
擦指甲.
Yeah. 係咪擦指甲好似啲筆嗰啲咁樣啊? The pencil
The
eraser or just a
white
block?
part, I use the eraser to erase, and then the white is coming out.
Okay. That works too. I would make these a little bit more of a circle, Let's see these over here. They're a little bit more rounded. These little black spots. Polly, you see these areas? They're more of a circle than a minus. So I would just add a little bit more hair on the top and bottom. When I add the hair, right now you have like a little bit of black hair. I'll feather some of them in, so it's not too solid. Okay, so like over here, I would just add a little bit. Look at the direction, just feather some in. Okay, just feather some in. When you draw these, did you just
I can hear
Did you go in there and okay, so these spots over here, these spots on the cat's whiskers, it looks like you use a pencil and then you just filled it in like that. I think it'll look better if you went in there and just draw more lines and feather it in, almost like hatch lines. So if I had a fur, for example, if I was going this way, I would feather. Polly?
Yeah. How do I do the smudge line? You say more.
Yeah. So yeah. So I would use a dark pencil, one of the Bees pencils, a dark one, and then just make it a little bit sharper, and then go in there and then use your pencil and just draw lines like that. Just space them out a little bit so it's not like a solid black inside. Like when I look in here, there's a little bit of white specks. You see the white lines over here? The white specks. You can use your like a sharp eraser, just erase around it. This way it's not like a solid chunk, like a solid chunk. You see this looks like a big chunk. Like if this was a little bit have a little bit of thin lines in between, it'll look more like that. But other than that, I think everything looks good. The eyes look pretty good too. I would make the eyes even darker. I'll show you where. If you make the eyes not the inside of the eyes, but the outside of the eyes, if you make it darker, it just makes the eyes a little bit more come forward. So right now I'm darkening up the outsides, darken up the top. Remember how I told every student the top of the eyelid, regardless of it's a human or animal, is always darker because it casts the shadow. So I'm making those a little bit darker. And then the center, I also make it darker. Okay. So now I'm going to show you how it looks by before and after. Let me go over here. See history. Okay. So before the burn tool, see, look at the eyes now. And then after I make it darker, it makes the eyes pop out a little bit better. Like it makes it more rounded.
But my pencil is
Yes.
HB already is the darkest one, so I don't know how to make it darker.
Yeah. Yeah. Push that harder.
Very harder. Okay.
Push that. Okay. Push that harder and put the paper on a hard surface, and then sharpen up the pencil. Yeah. The darkest pencil that I have that I use is I think it's a 8B. I think. Let me take a look. Darkest pencil I have an 8B. Are you using 8B?
Yes.
Yeah, 8B should go really dark. It should be really dark. If your paper is on top of another pad, like a paper, then maybe it won't go dark. But if you take that paper and put like a board underneath or something, it'll go darker. It should go darker. Yeah, it should go like really black. Okay. Is there any other question? Okay, so yeah, so these, if you have a eraser, like a white eraser, you can kind of like draw, like erase a little bit on the outside of the line just to help to separate. Okay. Let me give you an example. Like over here, I would just go maybe like a white line, a halo line on top with a little bit. That's only if you have one of these erasers over here, like a pencil eraser. Okay, but I think the drawing looks good. All the measurements, all the angles are in the right place. The spacing, the sizing, proportion looks pretty good. I'm trying to look to see if there's any. Oh, okay. I want you to go a little bit darker over here. Okay, so look at the cat over here. Here's the head of the cat, and then here's the neck. Like when I look at this cat here, and I look at the neck, there's no separation of the head and the neck. So I'm going to go and darken up this area. Okay, just go in there and draw more lines. Now, after you darken up this area, then the head will be a separate part from the body.
Where is that? Where to darker? Oh,
Sure. Okay. So I'm gonna erase what I've done. Okay. So if you look at it now, this looks like a flat piece. Okay, right over here, this looks like a flat piece. But if you look here, we have this shape here and then the bottom shape. All of over here is a little bit darker over here. See, you see this triangle over here is a little bit darker. So what I'm going to do is we're going to use that same triangle over here, just darken up that area. So after darken up all of this, then you'll see like underneath the neck of the cat. See that? Okay. Yeah, that's just making this area black using the 8B and just making it really dark over here. Now we have the head and then the body. Good?
Yeah, thank you.
Good. Anyone else have questions of this one? Okay. Yeah, this is really well done. I'm just going in here. I'm just darkening up some of the other areas just to make it a little bit more shape. Underneath the eyes over here, there's a little bit of area that's a little bit darker. So I'm just going to darken up that area too. On top of here, under here. Good. And then the nose over here, darken up over here. Okay, I'm going to save this one. File save. Good job. How long did it take you to draw this?
I think I need only 2 days.
2 days? Okay. One more thing. I also need you to do some more feathering. When I say, do you know what I mean when I say feathering? Feathering is instead of like a big solid line here, draw those lines individually, and then you build on top of it to make it darker like that. Okay, just pretend okay, let me use black. I'll show you. Next, so when you're feathering this area, almost like drawing eyebrows, I'll draw those lines like this, and then I'll go back in there and I'll build on top of it, and then I'll go back and I'll add some that's more black. All the I try not to crisscross any of those lines. This way you have some white lines in between. If you don't have white lines in between, you're just gonna have like a solid chunk over here. When I look here, this is solid chunk right over here. You see that? It's just that hard edge over there. Over here, it has a softer feel. This is the same with when you're painting with watercolors or acrylics. You want to have some kind of blending over here. So just go in here and you just kind of break it up a little bit, like that. Okay. Everyone gets what I'm saying? Okay, good. I'm gonna save this file, save. Then we're gonna move on to the next one. Good job, Polly. It's still very good. What I'm teaching you is like the textures of doing artwork. Textures are important. Next, we have Linda. Here's Linda. Hi, Linda. I know Linda's in class. I heard her earlier. Okay, so this is the photo this is the reference photo.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, good. And this is your painting. Nice
Right.
clouds. This is acrylics.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. Looks like you paint all the backgrounds first before you paint the cactus, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, very good. That looks very, very comfortable. Like when I'm looking at it, all of these clouds, and I'll explain it for some of the other students so they understand. So what Linda did was she painted all the clouds. She's looking at the colors and painting it all first. Like she'll paint the blue skies. After painting the blue skies, she'll paint the orange on the bottom. After that, she correct me if I'm wrong, Linda. You're jumping around while you're waiting for areas to dry. And then after all the skies are done, then you would paint the ground. Let me see if that's what you did. Yeah, it looks like you painted the ground first and all the textures of the ground, and then you painted the cactus later. Is that right?
Yes. That's
Yeah,
right.
very. At it, when I look at artwork, I try to look for mistakes. I try to look for areas that's not flowing. Everything is flowing nicely. Everything, even the color flow is very nice. Let me click this. Okay, and when you painted the clouds on top, let me ask you how you painted. Did you paint one area, like for example, did you paint all of this area first a little bit at a time, or did you jump around and you look at the reference photo and say, okay, we have this yellow here, we have this yellow here, we have this yellow here, and then you just go in here and then paint this yellow, paint that yellow, and paint that yellow? How did you go about painting this? Because it looks pretty good, like the
I
clouds.
jump around.
You jump around. Good, very good. Yeah. So the reason when you jump around is when you mix the color, it's better to find the color in the reference photo. Whatever color you mix, sometimes you're trying to mix this color, and all of a sudden you get this color. Just use that color. Don't waste your time trying to mix that exact color. If it looks close to that color, then paint everywhere that you see that color. Okay, just like how I teach you guys when you're painting, when you're drawing light and shadows, always look for the darkest value first, and then work on the medium value and then lighter value, and you just spot it. Just look for all the areas. Don't just work on one area and then travel your way all the way like to that. It's really easier painting that way. I like the ground, these little bushes. Okay, there's the shadows there. Good. The shadows, there's not that much order to the shadows, Linda. So like when I say that, I'm looking at here, I see one cluster here, you know, like that. So this one looks a little bit more random. There's no I know you're trying to do the shadow, which is okay, you know, everyone. Here's the thing, like when you're painting, you don't have to follow the reference photo exactly how it is. Just use that as a reference and then just paint the artwork. But your goal is to try to give it more perspective, more depth. So I'm going to explain over here, looking at the reference photo, so Linda and everyone else can see. When we look at our object in the front, we notice that here, this bush, now imagine all the bushes are all the same. This one is bigger. We go here, this one is smaller, and you go further back, you have a smaller one. You have the exception of some of them that are a little bit larger because they just grow perspective usually is bigger, smaller, 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 like that. Okay. When you paint like that, and also with the shadows, it gives more perspective. We look over here, you see this little tiny bush, a bigger bush. As I keep going forward, they get bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay. Now, I learned this because one time I was working with another artist and we were drawing bubbles, like a kid blowing bubbles, and then I made the mistake of thinking, okay, I'm gonna draw. I'm gonna come back to this later. I'm gonna explain what I learned so all of you can learn. So when you're drawing bubbles, you have a circle, okay, and then you have this circle, and then this circle, and then this circle. Okay, naturally, all of you would think, okay, the biggest bubble is the one closest to the viewer, right? The smallest bubble is the furthest back. That's not always the case, okay? Sometimes when someone blows a bubble, that bubble could be in the foreground, closer to the viewer, and then that one is thicker. And then the bigger bubble in the back can be very far away, and it's just like a bigger bubble. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Okay, it doesn't, just because it's larger doesn't mean it's closer, just because it's smaller doesn't mean it's further away. So when you're looking at this, there's larger ones, for the most part, larger ones are closer to the viewer, smaller ones are closer to the back. Sometimes in the back, you have a bigger cluster. And then when that happens, you still paint all the details more fine. Like you look at these little, like these tree branches, you'll see these tree branches, they're bigger. Okay. When you go further back, those tree branches become smaller. And then you'll see like a bigger cluster, those tree branches will be more, but bigger, but that doesn't mean that this is bigger than this. Okay. Now I'm gonna look at Linda's image here. We do see some big, some small, but then the texture of it seems all the same. Linda, do you know what I mean? Texture. So
yes.
what I would do to make your artwork like in the future, don't change anything here. In the future, what I would do is when you stipple these bushes and then you painted some of the bushes, right? You draw some lines and you went over here and it's kind of like did that, right? Linda?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So in the future, just draw like bushes further back. Just draw them a little bit smaller, the ones that's further back. Look at the reference, whichever one that you want to look at. And then when you stipple on the front, stipple like what you did on over here. Do that normally. But when you go back, spread your brush a little bit more and then just don't press so hard. Press like smaller dots. The smaller the texture is, the smaller the bushes, the more it pushes back. Okay?
Okay.
Does
Do I
all
need to change it now?
Yeah, you don't need to change this now. I want you like it still looks okay. Like all your artwork, it still looks good the way it is. But in future, for all of you, next time when you paint bushes or trees or clouds or anything, think about what I said. Like just because it's larger doesn't mean it's closest. For the most part, it is, but for other times, you also need to think about textures. Okay, like the way you do the stippling, the way you do your brush strokes. Okay, so this one, I know this part is a little bit harder to paint, especially with acrylic. These beam lines. Yeah, that's yeah. I would cheat a little bit or use water. That's what I would do. I would
Use
just
watercolor?
no, not watercolor. I would just use acrylic and then water it down, and then it will kind of feel like watercolor because you're painting and then you have like a light color and a dark color. I know this is hard. The other option is to really just paint that color and then mix the colors and make it darker, make it lighter, make it darker. But this beam is hard to paint. I do know it's hard to paint. On this part here, I would dry brush. Like I would paint the white here, add a little bit of yellow, and then when your brush is almost out of acrylics, then kind of like just go out all directions. Just paint very lightly. Use the tip of your brush. When there's no more paint, just spread it out before it dries, and then you get that softer look. Okay.
Okay.
You can also do that with this if you don't want to add color. I would dip the paint in red, and then before I start painting it, kind of paint on the newspaper or the scratch paper until there's almost no more paint, and then quickly do that very fast, like with the tip of your brush. Don't push down with your brush, and then you can almost get that illusion there. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see the texture of the cactus. Okay, so you have I know It really depends on how big your canvas is. So this texture, I guess is okay. Like I look over here, just like a lot of them stacked together, right?
Mhm.
Linda, I know that
Yes.
you were thinking about this too when you got to this part. Here I would use more greens over here, so it's not that dark. And then I
Okay.
know some of these dark. The cactus is green, and then try to let me see what's the best way to paint this. I would paint the whole thing. Let me see. Yeah, I would paint the whole thing black first, like which I have already, and then paint the green. So your steps are done correctly, but just go in there and instead of painting one line at a time, Linda, go ahead and use a brush and dry brush a lot of lines. Don't worry if it's like perfect or if it's broken, just dry brush it, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, use more
So,
paint on the tip of your brush and then dry brush it. You should have a lot of thin lines going across, okay?
should I change it?
I think with the cactus, everything else keep, but for the cactus, I think that if you add it, don't erase anything, just go in there, brush more in there, so it's not that black.
Okay.
Yeah, let me look at the other ones. So like in this, like over here, instead of just one line, just dry brush more. What size was your painting? How big was your painting? Like how big is this
12,
canvas?
12 by 16.
12 by 16? 11 by
Yeah.
16. Oh, so almost like a regular picture size paper. Okay. Yeah. Do you have a small brush like to paint it?
I think so.
Yeah, let's use a small brush and then dry brush it in there.
Okay.
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 Okay. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. It's just yeah, I know Linda by if you did that technique on the cactus, I think it's gonna look really good. Yeah,
Okay.
just give
Thank
it,
you.
yeah, just use that green color that you mix and just add a few more in there. Be careful about things leaning. Every student always do that. Okay, you see how these are like vertical, they're straight vertical. Over here, they look like they're leaning a little bit. See, it's leaning a little bit.
Okay.
If you wanted to add a little bit more, Linda, what you can do is get black and just add some on this side and then add some on that side. That will straighten it out. Just add, add some here and then just make this a little bit thicker. And then
Okay.
that will straighten it out. Okay.
Thank
Well
you.
done. Good
you.
job on the leaves. I like how you did the leaves in the foreground. See this. Yeah, good. I like it. I like the
Thank you.
colors. Yeah, good. Any questions on this one? Anyone? Good. Oh, you have little flowers coming out of the cactus. Yeah, so just do all the greens and then just paint the flowers on top later. Good, good. Very nice. Very nice. How long did it take you to paint this? 2 days, right? Linda? Linda?
Yes, 2 days. Thank
2
you.
days? Yeah, that's very good for 2 days. Yeah, very, very good for 2 days. Okay, save changes, save this, save, and then this one, save. File, save. Okay, next artwork we have Melissa. Hi, Melissa.
Oh, hi, Warden.
Let me
How are
close
you?
this one. Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank
I'm doing
you.
good. I just came back from a convention this past weekend. Here. Okay, so this is the puppy. Okay, this is cute. So Linda, I'm sorry, Melissa. What I would do is right when you draw, okay, I'm gonna pull up the reference photo so we can look at it. Reference photo. I remember reference photo is right over here. Let me open up this. Okay.
I noticed the eyes are too close.
The whole head is too big. No, not the head. The whole face is too big.
Too
Okay.
big?
Now, you didn't draw anything wrong. The proportion is off. That's the only thing. Like I'm gonna take your same drawing. I'm gonna reduce it, and then you'll see the difference. I'm gonna take this over here. So that means what I'm showing you is keep drawing the way you're drawing. Just make sure your measurements are done correctly when you're sketching it out. Okay, Control T. Actually, let me use this color and sample this color, and then X and Control T. Control T. Okay, and I'm going to reduce it over here a little bit. I need to see the whole image like this, and also the head is facing forward a little bit. So I'm gonna measure like this. Okay. So now I made it smaller. I made it smaller, looks a little bit better. And what happened here is this puppy's face, and I'll show you how it looks. Okay, so just like how we learn drawing people, we have a circle, and then we have the chin, and then I like to draw this line where the eye lines are, and then I try to draw the front of the line on the head arch that way. That way I know which way the head is turning. Okay, because if you don't draw that and then you just draw heads normally, drawing face forward, then this puppy looks like it's facing forward. So when I look at this one, it looks like the head is facing forward. You see that? You see that? It is the plus. So what we want to do is to have that nose move more towards the right side. See? See, it's not in the center. This nose is kind of arching this direction. Does it make sense, Linda? Melissa?
Okay.
Melissa?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the nose. The eyes are also a little bit too big. So I'm going to make the eyes a little bit smaller. Okay. I'm not going to change any of your drawing. I'm just going to make the adjustments for you. And make the eyes a little bit smaller. Okay. And then I'm going to separate the eyes a little bit more because they're puppy eyes. Puppy eyes, they have one eye on the left side, one eye on the right side. Human eyes is right in front of the face, but the distance between two eyes is one eye for a human face. But for a dog, it's much more. Okay, so I'll move this eye over here. Okay, so your same drawing. Okay, and then the nose and the mouth, I'm going to adjust it. We see more of this line here, but not that much on this side. You drew more on both sides, right? Okay, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to change any of your drawing. I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do to adjust it. Okay, so control transform and then right click warp. Now I'm going to move all of this towards the right side a little bit. You see the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, see that? It's
Yeah.
just slight adjustment, slight measure. Okay. Now we look at the puppy. It looks a little bit better, right? Okay. Yeah, and let me take a look at the rest of it. So just keep drawing. Use the same drawing textures and skills that you have. But just make sure you measure everything first. I'm gonna get rid of this line here. We don't need that line. Okay, there. And then we can go and darken up a little bit over here. Darken up like over here. Just add a little bit more shadows underneath those eyes over here. Okay, let me look at the foot. Okay, good job on the foot. Both of them are standing on the floor. I will make this part darker over here, this part darker. Actually, you know what? You made everything dark. I would make it go lighter. I would make it go lighter. Okay, so opposite. Okay, so I'm gonna go here and make this. You see this leg here? This white is similar to this white. Okay, this is darker. So I'm gonna go here and just kind of lighten this up. See, just lightening that up. You get an eraser, just lighten that a little bit. This pushes the whole leg, the right leg forward, right? Okay, I'll show you again. So before, like when it's dark, it looks like it looks like it's like flat. But if you add that lighter, erase that lighter here, now that pushes it forward. Now this leg over here, I know you see a little bit of shadow here, but you need to make this leg go forward. So I'm going to lighten up this side, lighten up here, okay, and then lighten up over here. See? Okay, good. Let me take a look. Good job on following direction. Try not to go too straight. Your lines, instead of drawing lines that's, like this, try to like curve it a little bit. Relax and curve it a little bit. Okay, like so these lines curve it a little bit. Sometimes my hand, I like to draw, like curve a few lines this way, and then I'll just turn my paper, and then I'll continue curving it that way, and then turn my paper again, and so forth. Oops. And then turn my paper like this again, and then continue. It's just easier for my hand. There's some artists that can go all directions. My hand, I'm just used to going one direction. So what I mean is some artists, they can go this direction, and then their hand can naturally go that direction. My hand's not comfortable doing that direction. Okay, so the back. Okay, good. Okay, so good job over here. Just add a few more. You're paying attention to what I said. Good. Okay, it's pretty good. It's cute. I like it. Yeah, I think it looks cute. I think it looks good. Okay, any questions on this one? Oh, and one more before we go. I would actually curve these a little bit. So instead of it having straight down, instead of just straight down like this, oh, why isn't that working? Control these. Why is my pin not working? Okay.
It make it curl a little.
Yeah. Let me see if I can. Something's wrong with my pin. Let me go back here. Okay. Control Alt B. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Just make it curve a little bit, almost like have you guys ever watched those Chinese movies, the fighting movies, and you see those actors always going like this with the long beard?
The
They always go
Wusou.
like this. Yeah, the Wuso. Yeah, so
Yeah.
just make the Wuso curve like the
Okay.
puppy over there, okay?
Okay.
Okay, it looks good. Good job. Good job on this. You have any questions on this one?
It's very hard to do the face.
Yeah, just draw smaller and draw a little bit of the eyes further apart, and then make sure you draw the direction. You sketch out the direction first. I'm gonna close this one first and then grab more paper. I'm gonna show everyone. Image, canvas size. I'm gonna add a little bit more paper width, and then we do 8. Okay, so whoops. Ooh, the dog is crying. Image, canvas size, 9, and then we go here. Okay, we go open. Okay, I'm going to show you. Okay, so when I say sketch, the first thing you do is you look at basic shapes, right? You have the square, the image size. We'll just do this at 300, so it's clearer. Okay, so yeah, basic shapes of drawing. All of you already know the basic shapes of drawing. We have the square, circle, triangle, and the cylinder. Okay, so when you draw the face of a dog, you don't want to draw it facing forward. I'm going to draw it facing forward first, so you guys see the difference. Okay, we have the plus, we have the snout, we have the line here, and then we have the nose, and we have the mouth, and then the ears. Like if it's facing forward, this plus here is really important to help you draw the direction of the head. Okay, I'm going to use blue. So if it's facing forward, why is this blue? Okay, image mode, RGB color. So if it's facing forward, here's one eye, and here's the other eye. Whoop, the eye is too close. We have one eye here, and then the nose, and then the mouth. Okay, now this dog's head is facing the other direction. So what I'll do is I'll sketch the same circle. After I sketch a circle of here, this is the circle. The next thing I do, I sketch the snout, which is the other circle, this other circle. So this circle, I don't sketch it in the middle. It's actually sketched towards this direction a little bit. See that? It's a little bit slightly over to the right. After you sketch that, then I would draw this line to find where the middle of that head is. So the middle of the head is right over here. And then I find where the eye lines are. So the eye line is over here. Now with this, it helps you draw, like you know that you have to draw the eye on this line, and then you have to draw the eye on that line. And then the nose stays on that line over here. Okay, and then the mouth, you just stay in the middle of the mouth, and then you draw around it. See? Like if I was going to draw the same puppy, like say a client asked me to draw the same puppy, but I need to change the direction. I want to change the direction to facing the other way, okay? So the first thing I'll do is I'll sketch the head first. And then, just like with the snout, I'll sketch the snout first, the second, okay? And then I'll find the center of the head. So the center of the head is going this direction now, okay? Not going this direction. And then I find where the eyes are. I don't want the eyes to be looking up. I want the eyes to be almost like looking like that. Okay. Once I have that, then I know that one eye is over here. The other eye is right here. Okay. The nose is going to be right over here. And then the mouth is going to be right over here. See that? And then the rest is like the puppy's that. Okay. Like a bear, like a dog. Okay, so that helps. Is the same technique works not just for animals but also for people, for like a fly. If you drew a bug like a fly, here let me show you guys. So this way you all learn more. I'm going to draw a let's look at grasshopper. I don't know how the grasshopper looks. Grasshopper head. Okay, grasshopper, H-E-A-D. Okay, we're just gonna look at this grasshopper head. It's such an ugly grasshopper. Now let's look at let's look at this one, okay? So ugly. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys how I draw this grasshopper just using this reference photo. Let me see, where is that photo? Oh, where did it go? Where'd it go? This ugly one. Okay, and then I'm going to show you how I would draw that. So here, I'll start with a shape first. Okay, so right here I have this big oval, right? And then down here I have a triangle. Okay, now I want to find out where this middle of the head is, and that middle is right over here. And then I find out where the eye is. This guy like that. Okay, this plus here helps me draw everything. Okay, so the eye lies on this line. Wherever that line is over here, I will also draw it on the other side and make sure it's on that same line. See? That, okay? Now this head here, I'm going to draw all the other things in detail. I'll draw this really quickly, not too much detail. Okay, we have oval here, we have oval here, and then we have the tentacles, and then we have this shape here, and then this shape over here, and then the teeth. Okay, now that we know how to look, this is my first time drawing a grasshopper. So now that I already studied it in my head, I know how a grasshopper looks, and I can draw that same head in whatever direction I want using these basic shapes. Okay, so if I wanted that head to go look at this direction, I'll just sketch out that shape like this. Okay, and then I'll sketch out this triangle, and then I'll let's have this look exactly towards the left. Okay, and then maybe a little bit profile this way. Okay, and then I'll find the eyes like this. You see right there, everyone? Now I'll draw that circle for the eye over here, and then this circle over here. Okay, everything that we drew, we're just moving it around. We'll draw that triangle right over here, and then this triangle here, and then the fangs or whatever those are right over here, and then these ovals, I'm just gonna place it on the top of the circle, the two ovals, and then I just place those like that. Okay, so once you learn how to use shapes and move them around, and then take advantage of using this plus, drawing like whatever face and direction and proportion, it helps draw. Like let's do like a fly eyes. No, not fly. This is just a fly head. Yeah, after this one, because I know this fly has a weird shape. After this one, I'm gonna show you how like do all the measurements. Okay, every like this insect here is a different measurement. Okay, so my first time, I'm gonna draw. Let me zoom in. We're just gonna draw this head. Okay, so what shape do you see here? Anyone? Like we'll just look at this one. What the first shape that you guys see? What I see is like a circle. Okay, I'll see a circle. Okay, and then what other shapes do we see? We see like a partial circle here, partial circle. But before I do that, I want to make sure I draw my center line of the face. Okay, here's the center line. That's very important. Okay, so on here, I see a rectangle here. Whoops. Okay, perfect. This is even better. Right here, I see a rectangle here. I'll sketch that rectangle on here, and I make sure that rectangle is in the middle here. Okay, so that rectangle's over here. And then the partial circles over here, this partial circle would have this one here, okay, like this. And then we have this circle over here. Okay, and then that is your fly. Now, what if I want to draw that fly looking downwards? Okay, the whole measurement, now I know how the fly looks. I'll just sketch this circle first. I'll sketch this fly looking downwards, and I'll sketch this plus, that we talked about. Now, that rectangle that we did, I'm just gonna put that rectangle in the middle, going this way. And then now, the eye that was here, I'm just going to move the eye way up here. Okay. And then the other eye, I'm just going to put this right over here. Now the fly is like looking downwards, looking that direction. If I want to look the other way, I'll start out with the circle. Let's have it look down this direction. Here's the center line. And then here is the eye line. Okay. I would have it look down. Okay. See, that plus is important. Now I'm going to sketch that rectangle right over here for the mouth. And then I'm going to, just like these two lessons that we just did earlier, I'll sketch that circle right above here, like this. And then the other side, I'm going to contour, follow the shape of the head, and then sketch this side. Okay, we don't draw this circle. We don't draw this circle like this. We have to contour with the shape of the head. Okay, and then here's the bug. Does it make sense? So not like this. That's wrong. We have to follow the shape. Wherever the head turns, you have to follow the shape of the spear. Does that help everyone? Does that help? Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna save all of this. Keep all of this here in case you guys need it. Save. Okay. Good. Okay. Okay. Next.
Warden,
Yes.
I said every time when you do faces, it
Uh-huh.
doesn't matter animal or human being. You always do the plus, right?
I do. I always do. Yeah. So
Alright.
like if I have a human, I have the plus here. Now let's say I have the plus looking downwards. Okay. And then I'm drawing a human over here. So human, we have the eyes here, and then we remember the measurement halfway, and then 1/3 of the way. Okay, if I have this human looking this direction, okay, we have the front, the plus right over here, go this direction, and then this one, I'm gonna have this one looking upwards like this. You see the plus here? Okay, now I'll draw the eye. I make sure that eye is here, and then the other eye here, and then here's the nose, and then here's the mouth. Okay.
Mm.
Now, if I want that that head to look up, maybe look upwards, we have the head, and then now I draw the plus, and then this time I'll draw that arc looking upwards. So this human is looking upwards. Okay. So we have the eye over here, this eye here, the ear is over here. We have the nose here, we have the mouth, and then we have the jawline. Now it's looking upwards. Okay. If I wanted to look down the other direction, I'll sketch out the circle first. I'll sketch out the egg part of it. Okay, and then this time I'm gonna have it maybe go this direction. I'm gonna use a blue color. I'm gonna have it go this direction, and let's see, should we go up or should we go down? What would you like, Melissa? Should we go down or should we go up? Your choice. What would you like? I can go downwards, looking downwards. I can make it go upwards. It just changes. Let's have it go downwards.
Downward.
Downwards, okay? So the measurement of the human face is the eyes in the middle of the head. And then from here to here, the middle, this is the nose. And then from here, 1/3 of the way, and here's the mouth. And then the ears is right over here. Okay, so this ear is right over here. And this ear is like right over here.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions on this one? Okay, good. Drawing everything, it's not even just human faces. If you're drawing like a hand or arm or body, it's just sketching. Like I want all of you to practice seeing like these shapes in your head. Once you see all those shapes in your head, everything really does become easier. I know, like I was doing a critique today, and all of a sudden I started talking about this. I think this is important when you're drawing things. It just helps. Image, canvas size, we go here. Height, we're just gonna make 9. Oops, let's go here. Image, canvas size, height, we'll just make it 10, and then more paper on the bottom. Okay, so say I wanted to draw a, I'm just gonna draw, can someone name something for me to draw? Anything? Just yell something out. Anyone? And I'm going to try to draw it without using reference photos. Is anyone? Rosalie? Rosalie, give me anything, and I'll show you everyone how I draw it without even looking at reference. Yeah, you're on mute. Anything?
I can't think of anything.
Can't think of anything? Okay. Let me see who else I can see. How about Jocelyn? I'm picking on the people that I can see their face. Jocelyn, tell me something. Oh, Jocelyn just turned off the camera. Melissa? Melissa, think of something. Give me anything.
Eagle.
Oh, eagle. Okay. So if I'm drawing an eagle, first thing I do is I'll sketch the body. First thing I want to do is what do I want the eagle to do? Do I want it to be standing there? Do I want it to be flying? Or let's have it flying or something. So I'll sketch the body, which is an oval. Okay. I'll sketch the neck, which is a cylinder, and then the head, which is a circle. Okay. And then the triangle here. Okay, and then what do I want the eagle to be doing? Let's have the eagle's wing a triangle here, and then a triangle over here. And then we have the other triangle here, and then we're gonna have maybe this triangle like that. Okay, and then the legs, cylinder here, it kind of looks more like a duck. And then we have the triangle over here. Okay, so this is the general shape of an eagle if you want to draw an eagle. This is just not even looking at reference. This is just what I see as a body shape. And then just go in there and kind of touch it up a little bit. There, and there was your eagle. Or so say if I want to draw, how about a tank? You know, in the army, you have a tank. Okay, so if I was drawing a tank, I would draw a rectangle first, like a soapbox, like this. I'll just draw a rectangle first. After I draw a rectangle, I'll draw the partial circle on the top. Okay, after I draw the partial circle, I'll draw a cylinder right over here. And then the wheels, I'll just draw let's see, I'll draw another box here. Let's just draw another box to make it easier. So here's another box, and then here's another box. And then here are circles. It's just using all the shapes to make sure everything is in the right place, and then draw the details in later. Okay? Any questions? Or if I was going to draw people, make sure proportions are correctly. I'm going to go and sketch, let's see, I'm going to sketch a body, like a body over here. And then I'll have the cylinder for the neck. Here's the cylinder, and then here's the head. Okay. And then I'll find out where the head is. It's looking this direction, like that. Okay. And then we have the close over here, the triangle. And then we have the eyes over here, and then the nose, and then the mouth. And then we sketch the hair like this. And then that's just the rest is just putting details. See?
Oh,
Yeah, Eleanor, you have any questions?
yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah. You
I
have a
like it.
question? Okay. Yeah, I'll sketch another one. Okay. So I'm going to sketch another, maybe one over here. So I'll sketch another human body. I'll look at the shape like this. Okay. And then I'll sketch maybe someone's hand like over here. And then I'll sketch a cylinder for the neck, and then I'll sketch the head of a circle. I'll look at the direction of where that person is looking at, and then I'll sketch the hair over here. Okay, and then I'll put that box, and then I'll sketch the backgrounds. Like here's one background, here's the other background, and then here's the other background. Okay, so this is Melissa, and then this is a sketch of Rosaline, and a sketch of Melissa on the Zoom screen. Now Melissa just put her hand on her face, and it's a cylinder. Okay, and then she just changed her hand. Here's the hand going this direction now. See, that was fun.
It
Okay,
looks
I'm
so
gonna say
easy
this.
for you.
Yeah, it's just doing the hardest part is really doing all the sketching, making sure the proportion is all in the right place. Once you have the proportion all measured in the right place, drawing it is just spending the time going in there, looking at the reference photo, and then just going there and adding more details on top of it, like this. That's actually easy. That's the fun part. That's just spending the time and adding more details to it. See? Yeah, sketching it is probably the hardest part. A lot of times, let's see what time. Actually, let me take attendance first before any of you guys leave. Okay, let's see. This Sunita. Yeah, so when I was teaching at the university, Academy University, I would tell my students to, when they go home, when they're taking the bus, pull out your sketchbook and just draw people on the bus, because you don't know when they're going to be leaving the bus or how long they'll be staying in the bus. Sometimes they're just going to be on the bus for like 2 minutes or 3 minutes, or standing there and then leaving at the next stop. What that does is it trains your eye to look at everything in detail as fast as you can. And then when you're sketching everything, that forces you to try to sketch something really quickly. So if I was going to sketch something, like, for example, I'm looking at Polly's Zoom picture right now. I'll sketch the body first as a rectangle, and then the head, and I'll try to do this really quickly. and then she's holding like a surfboard, and then her hand is a triangle, and then separate the legs like this. Like, and then after I have that, then on the head, like what we were teaching, I'll try to find the center of the head and then the side of the head. That way I know which direction it's going. Okay, and then here, now that's Polly's Zoom photo. Once I have the sketch down, then I'll go back and then I'll add like I'll do tighten the sketch, and I'll add more details on top of it later. So here's the horizon line, and then here's the mountain like that. Okay. Yeah. So if you I know this towards the end of the class. Let me see if there's another student's artwork.
Oh, Auden,
Yes.
I have one more question about
Sure.
the drawing people's faces.
Okay. Sure.
But it's the rule. But if you're drawing a real person, maybe their eyes are further apart,
Yes.
or
Yes.
all the eyes, nose are all in the center,
Yes.
maybe
Yes.
closer.
So
So how do we do that?
so that's true. So Rosalie said sometimes people's face are different. The general rule of the measurements are always the same, like a halfway, 1/3. Ears are like right near the eye is and where the nose is. Everyone's face is drawn. Everyone's face is unique. It's different. So once you have the, let me zoom in here. Once you have, like, say you have someone's head like this. Okay, you have someone's head, and then you do all the measurements first. Make sure all the measurements are in the correct place. After you do that, the next step is going there and look at the uniqueness of that person. Okay, so if their eyes are smaller, then you draw smaller. If the eyes are bigger, then you draw larger. Everyone's eyes are different. Okay, some people have like big eyes. Some people's eyebrow are like higher. Some people eyebrows are lower. Some people's hair. And then after you have the face, some people's face are a little bit like chubbier, like mine's. Like if I like a little bit chubbier, then you draw bigger. If they're slimmer or they're skinnier, then you go and draw a little bit of hair. If sometimes people that are really skinny, they have a bone structure, you just look at the reference photo and just kind of draw that bone structure in, like that. Okay, and then if they have the chin, kind of draw that chin structure in. And then everyone's nose is different too. Some people's nose are like this. Some people's nose are a little bit lower. Everyone's nose is different. But as long as you use the measurements and know exactly where it is, then you can draw all your detail following that line. That is your map to draw everything. Because if I had the measurements and all of a sudden, if I didn't use the measurement and all of a sudden I drew a nose over here, okay, then that looks off. Everyone's facial features are usually in the same measurements. Okay, yeah, like say for example, if I wanted to draw this person, like here's this person, and then I wanted to add like see here, and then ear, and then we have like her hair going this way, and then if I wanted to make her like have some facial features a little bit, I just draw a little bit here and a little bit down here and a little bit facial feature. Just look at how that person looks, and then you just add those details in. Does that help, Rosalie? Yeah. The measurements are always the same. Measurements are always the same. Just draw it slightly different. Everyone's eyes are the same. Nose is different. Lips are different. Sometimes the cheeks are different. Eyebrows are different. Some people's ears are some people's ear are like this way, the letter Y, and then some people's ear they have like a bigger lobe, It's just make sure you have the same height and then just draw it differently. Okay. Any other questions? Anyone? Good. Well, today art critique. Okay. Let's see. We have one. Let's see, Melissa. We have one more student for next time. Lynn. I'm gonna save Lynn for next time. Okay.
Thank you, Warden.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Warden.
Thank you, everyone. I hope today's
Okay.
class was okay. Thank you. I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Bye. Thank you. Bye bye.